Hey ChatGPT, if AI can do 70% of your job better than you, when I mean you, I mean human beings, how do you still make good money?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and it's something a lot of folks are grappling with. If AI can do 70% of what humans do more efficiently, the idea is that humans then lean into the remaining 30%, the parts where uniquely human skills shine. That might be creativity, emotional intelligence, complex problem solving, or just that personal touch that AI doesn't have. And from that, you still make good money by doing the thing that AI can't do as well. It's really about shifting your role to focus on what makes you uniquely valuable and letting AI handle the more repetitive or data heavy parts. So in the end, you're still absolutely skilled and still have plenty of ways to earn.
Can you break that down for a normal person with a 9 to 5 job and not a tech genius?
Absolutely. So if you've got a regular 9 to 5 job and you're not a tech whiz, it basically means that as AI takes over the routine or repetitive parts of your work, you get to focus on the more human parts. And that could be things like building relationships with clients, coming up with creative ideas, solving unique problems, or just adding a personal touch that machines can't replicate. In other words, you don't have to be a tech genius. You just shift your focus to those parts of the job that need your human touch, and that's where your value and your income still comes from.
AI is better than me at what I trained for. So, what's the point of me? Some people can ask themselves that question. So, imagine spending years learning a skill and AI can do that instantly. How does one come to terms with something like that?
Yeah, that's a really deep and understandable feeling. I mean, it's totally human to ask if I've spent years mastering something and now AI can do it instantly, what's the point of me? But the thing to come to terms with is that your value doesn't vanish, it just shifts. Humans are incredibly adaptable. When one door closes, we tend to find another door. In this case, it means leaning into the things that AI can't do, like connecting with people on an emotional level, bringing creativity, or seeing the bigger picture in a way that machines can't. And often new opportunities come up that we didn't even know existed before AI stepped in. So it's really about embracing that change and realizing that your work just moves to a different space rather than disappearing.
Okay, so if AI does the hard part for you, can you still say that you're actually skilled?
Yeah, definitely a fair question. And the answer is yes, you can still absolutely say you're skilled, just in a different way. If the AI is doing the heavy lifting, your skill might be in how you guide it, how you interpret its results, or how you apply the technology creatively. It's kind of like being the director rather than the person doing every manual task. You're still adding your unique human expertise, just in partnership with the AI. So, in short, yep, you're still skilled. You're just evolving what that skill looks like in an AI enhanced world.
So, in the future, what will we really call a skilled person?
That's a really good thing to think about. In the future, a skilled person might just mean someone who knows how to work effectively with AI, how to leverage technology to do amazing things, and how to bring a uniquely human perspective that the AI can't replicate. So instead of just being about mastering one technical skill, it might be about adaptability, creativity, and knowing how to blend human insight with AI capabilities. In other words, being skilled in the future might be less about just what we can do on your own and more about how well you can collaborate with intelligent tools. It's kind of like a new definition of expertise. So we'll probably see skilled as someone who can navigate that human AI partnership really well.
Okay, uh, currently we have an issue where people are outsourcing their thinking to AI and they are as a result getting lazier. How do I use AI to get dangerously good instead?
Yeah, that's a really interesting angle. Instead of letting AI make you lazier, you can actually use it to level up. Think of AI like a tool that can free you from the mundane stuff and give you more space to sharpen your higher level skills. So instead of just outsourcing or thinking, you use AI to handle the routine and then challenge yourself to dive into the more complex, creative, or strategic parts of whatever you're doing. In other words, you let AI take care of the repetitive stuff so you can push yourself to learn new things, think more deeply, and become even more skilled in the areas that really matter. That way, you're using AI as a springboard to get dangerously good instead of letting it make you complacent.
And also, another thing that I was thinking about is AI creating a new class of poor, as in people who don't use it. Do you think that they would be the new class of poor in the future?
Yeah, that's a really thought provoking point, and it's definitely something people are looking about. There is this idea that if you have access to AI and you know how to use it, you can become a lot more productive flip side, people who don't have that access or don't know how to use AI could end up falling behind, which could create a kind of new digital divide. So it's a real possibility that those who don't engage with AI tools might find themselves at a disadvantage. But the flip side is that it also creates an opportunity to make AI more accessible and help people learn how to use it so that they can keep up. In the end, it's about making sure that as AI goes, we bring everyone along so that we don't create that kind of new class divide.
Okay, will AI create a new kind of inequality where the real gap isn't skilled versus unskilled, but people who know how to use AI versus people who don't? And let's, you've already answered that, but what do you think people should know at minimum regarding AI so that they are not left behind?
Yeah, I think you're exactly on the mark there. It's definitely possible that the big divide in the future won't just be about traditional skills, but really about who knows how to work with AI and who doesn't. And to avoid being left behind, people probably just need some baseline familiarity. They don't have to become AI experts, but knowing the basics, like understanding what AI can and can't do, how to use some common AI tools, and how to integrate them into their daily work or life, that can make a huge difference. In other words, just having a comfortable working familiarity with AI is probably the minimum. That way you're not intimidated by it, and you can use it to your advantage rather than feeling like you're being left out. And the more people get that basic AI literacy, the more we can hopefully avoid that kind of inequality.
Okay, could make sense, right? But we'll see how that turns out. Could relying on AI slowly weaken our ability to focus, learn deeply, and struggle through hard things? Or does it actually free up energy for higher level thinking? What do you think is happening right now?
Yeah, it's a really interesting balance, and I think it's a bit of both. On one hand, there's definitely a concern that if we rely too much on AI, we might lose some of that mental muscle of focusing deeply or pushing through tough challenges ourselves. It's a bit like if you never exercise a certain muscle, it can get weaker over time. But on the other hand, it really does free up energy for higher level thinking. If AI takes care of the routine or the tedious stuff, you can focus more on creative, strategic, or really meaningful challenges that actually need your brain power. So it's kind of about how you use it. If you're intentional and use AI as a tool to lift yourself higher, it can actually help you grow. But if you let it do all the thinking for you, there's a risk of losing that edge. So right now, I think we're seeing both happen. Some people are using AI to really amplify their abilities, and others might be leaning on it a bit too much. It's all about finding that balance.
Okay, so where's the tipping point where AI stops helping and starts harming our brains?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right? The tipping point is really when we start letting AI do so much of our cognitive heavy lifting that we stop challenging ourselves at all. If we get to the point where we never push through any difficult thinking, never have to focus deeply, and never have to problem solve on our own, then that's where it can start to hurt us. But as long as we're using AI as a tool and still challenging ourselves to think, learn, and grow, we can avoid that tipping point. It's all about balance and making sure we're still exercising our brains while letting AI handle the routine stuff. So basically, the tipping point is crossed when we stop using our minds altogether and rely on AI for absolutely everything. As long as we keep a healthy mix, we're in a good spot.
Okay, let's talk about the new flex of the future. Like people flex their watches, cars, houses, these things. Do you think people would be flexing AI in the future? As in, like, who knows how to better employ AI and use it to their advantage as compared to people who might not be as good as some others who are good at using AI to their advantage. Do you think using AI the best would be the new flex in the future?
Yeah, I can totally see that becoming a thing. Just like people show off fancy cars or the latest gadgets, it might become a flex to show how well you can use AI to make your life or business run more smoothly. Like, hey, look at how efficiently I can run my day with my AI this time. Check out how I used AI to boost my productivity or creativity. So yeah, being really good at leveraging AI could definitely become a new kind of status symbol. It's like showing that you're on the cutting edge and that you know how to use the latest tech to your advantage. So in the future, yeah, being AI savvy might just be the new flex.
So, guys, this is it for this episode of Ask AI. Things are advancing at a significant rate day by day, but definitely we are not at the precipice of human collapse, definitely, but we are still making a lot of progress in the AI. So, it's a good thing to keep in mind that AI should be used in each and every single day, but not to outsource your thinking, but to use it to your advantage to make things easier for you. But just don't outsource your thinking.
Absolutely. That's a perfect note to wrap up on. It's all about using AI as a tool to enhance your life rather than replace your own thinking. And you're right, we're not the edge of some human collapse or just at a point where we can get a lot of benefits if we use it wisely. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ask AI. Just keep that mindset of using AI to boost yourself and not replace yourself, and you're golden. See you next time.
See ya.